everyone, and welcome to my channel. So in this video I wanted to show you my Habenaria Radiatas, and they are doing absolutely amazing. You can see fresh new growth, completely green, couple burnt edges, but we'll get to the reasons why. And of course we got some blooms, and that's the reason why I wanted to make this video today, to show you, because I'm just gonna get loaded with some blooms on here, and I cannot wait to show you that when it happens. Awesome, cannot wait. So I've been growing these for a little while, not too long. I probably planted them maybe, let's see, maybe March. I want to say it was probably not too long ago, and it was just planted, I'd say, in a kind of a sphagnum moss and canuma soil. So that's pretty standard. So sphagnum moss, canuma. You can also add a little bit of peat moss as well, and that way it kind of brings out the acidity a little bit, and that's something that they like. Now, one thing to discuss when growing these, you can see that there are some tip damages here, there, and then also here. So this one has a backstory. So when I was watering and taking care of this plant, all these plants, when they were about, let's say, yay big, I wanted to fertilize. So I kind of fertilized all my plants in my greenhouse, and when I did that, it basically started to kill it. I guess it was a little too much for it. So to be honest with you, as far as fertilizing these plants, I would not fertilize these at all. I don't think it's a good idea. It will basically burn the roots, and it can cause it to basically wilt and die. So this one is kind of like the aftermath of what happened. So it kind of became droopy, and I was like, why do all the plants look sick? And so I just kept watering, trying to basically just flush out all of the fertilizer, and it did help, and they bounced right back, thank God. But you can see here, this is the result. So do not fertilize just whatever you do, don't fertilize. And you get a little bit of tip damage. That is normal. That's usually from heat. I mean, I live in Vegas, so it's a little hot. So I would not fret about that. It's completely normal. It does happen. So, you know, we don't live in Japan, or we don't live in swamps or marshes. That's basically, well, mostly marshland, that's going to grow these. So obviously it's out of its environment, so it's going to be a little different than what it's used to. So of course you're going to get a little bit of damage, but that's completely normal. So back to the blooms. I cannot wait. These have been growing for about, I mean, I saw them probably about a month ago, and they've just been developing so nicely. And you can, this double one, I can't wait for that one. I've never seen this many blooms in one pot. I have before, but they didn't make it because I, of course, had a problem with fertilizing. Don't fertilize, whatever you do, don't fertilize. So, but I'm just so happy that this plant's doing very, very well. And I'm really excited to see what the blooms are gonna look like, and I can't wait to show you guys as well. So again, let's look at the blooms. Not every plant decided to give me a bloom this year, but it's all good. So I'm probably going to get roughly about maybe 8 blooms, 7, 8. So definitely looking forward to that. So that's pretty much it. Another thing is like about the mix. If you don't have canuma, which is like an acidic clay from Japan, you can always use like a pumice stone. It's a little heavy though. Maybe go with, like, I'd say maybe perlite and vermiculite, but you gotta be careful. Vermiculite is kind of like a spongy material, so it will kind of float a little bit, so you gotta be careful when watering. But you can actually just do straight up sphagnum moss, and just probably put a little bit of pumice in there. That way it's not sitting in the actual moss, because it can actually become waterlogged and actually kill the corm, so you don't want to do that. So kind of like rest it on a bed of maybe like pumice or perlite, and then go ahead and cover it with sphagnum moss, because that's basically what they do in Japan. They use canuma for the bottom base, and then they'll cover it, and then they'll cover the top, the very tip top of it, to where basically the new growths comes in. They cover that with sphagnum moss. So that's exactly what they do. Me, I'm a little different. I kind of do the sphagnum moss around the corm and a little above it, and then I finish it off just to make it look pretty with the canuma. So that's how I do mine. I think it's canuma. I think that's how it's pronounced. Don't want to mispronounce it. But these are the Habenaria Radiatas, and I'm sorry I haven't made any videos of them and their progress. But I will definitely make a video when it decides to bloom for me. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. If there's any videos that you'd like me to make for the future, I do have a lot of plants and I got a lot of reviews I'd like to make. So especially since it's Corona time. But you guys let me know down below and let me know how I'm doing. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day and happy growing.